Good afternoon. Welcome to the Veranda. Today my guest is my friend, Joyce Dorse Coleman. She's running for school board, District 9. Sit back for conversations on the veranda. Welcome to the veranda, Joyce.
Good evening. Thank you for having me on the veranda today.
I got to tell you the backstory about this young lady. Then we're going to get into some questions. I met this young lady by coincidence, and she told me that someone told me I needed to talk to you. I said, okay, what did I do? She said, I'm thinking about running for school board. I said, okay, come back. The first time she came to the veranda, I believe she had 3 children.
3 grandchildren.
3 of her grandchildren in total. And I watched her with those babies. And I said, okay, yeah, we can do this. I saw the love, the compassion, and the stern disciplinarianship she had with those children. And I liked her. We've become fast friends.
Yeah.
And I want you all to hear her stories. I want you to listen. And I want you to vote for Joyce Dorse Coleman because she is the best candidate for this position. She already has this position, and she needs to continue on her passion and her mission. Joyce, tell me something about you.
I love children. I love to see our children prospering. I love the fact that we live in a free country and education is available. We just have to make sure that our children are receiving the right education.
Do you think that, I'm sure you're going to agree with me when I say there's plenty of room for improvement within our school system?
Yes, it is.
The school board's major concern or major job is to implement these particular policies and instruments and situations for the children in Memphis to thrive and educate themselves in a better environment. What are some of the things that you think, no, let me rephrase that. What are some of the things that you do on the school board?
I serve as co-chair of the Community Engagement Committee.
And what is that?
We make sure that the community knows. We have a department called the FACE, Family and Community Engagement Department, within Memphis Shelby County Schools. And we make sure that parents are informed of what's going on because a lot of our parents don't know what's going on, what's taking place in their child's school. We want to be that bridge to help them learn, like going into the Power School account. We've had workshops to teach parents, and the Power School account is where you can go in and you can see, today, my child, Anthony, did A, B, and C. He was able to accomplish, his grades were this and his grades were that. What does he need to work on? You know, when we were kids, we had to bring their report card home and get it signed. Now you can know before that child even gets home what their report card is going to look like going into their Power School account. So we've implemented that to help the parents, and then they can follow along to know, is my child are they progressing? Are they on target? Are they not making the grades and things like that? So,
and I want to comment on that because that is something that, and to rephrase what I'm about to say. I interviewed a judge day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And she works with the children. She's in family court. And what you just said is something that I'm sure a lot of parents don't know about. And a lot of parents are concerned parents, and a lot of them are not.
Right.
And this is something that parents need to know because, you know, raising a child starts at home. And there are situations in place within Memphis schools that can help that. And this particular one you're talking about is one such thing.
Right.
But if the parents don't apply themselves or follow up on what their children are doing, then the child's not going to be that concerned. So parents, I'm shouting out to you now, see about your children.
That's right.
Now, also, what other programs are there within Memphis City Schools?
We have before and after school tutoring. I mean, we're working as a board of 9. We're working hard every day because reality is the pandemic did not help us. It did more harm to us than helping us. But it also helped us because it revealed some of the things that we underlying knew, but we didn't know.
And you could address it.
We could address it more. That our kids are not reading on grade level. Our kids, we've implemented the 3rd grade commitment, where by the 3rd grade, your child should be able, and parents should know that by 3rd grade now, the child should be on grade level. It's something that trickled down from the state, but we had already said we were going to do this before the state even said it. So now in the 2nd grade, we had that this summer, is that the child had to meet 8 out of 12 requirements in order to be promoted to the 3rd grade. But what we did was, instead of holding back children, if they attended the Summer Learning Academy, free of charge, all you got to do is get your child up and get them to the school.
Y'all hear that?
Transportation provided. We had buses. So we, as a board, we're working hard to eliminate all excuses. Excuses, everybody has those. And when we find out about excuses or a barrier from our children succeeding, we do all we can before and after school. We have it now where there's tutoring going on while school is actually going on. If again, I'm going to say Anthony, that's my child's name. If Anthony is not reading, he's having trouble with his math facts, Anthony can get tutoring, small group, one-on-one tutoring during school.
Now, you often hear as of late, and I'm putting this out there and getting this out the way. There are situations with Memphis City Schools right now. This is not something we're not going to address that, because as of now it's an issue, but it's not an issue for the school board. So I'm not going to put Ms. Joyce on the spot and ask her about that, because personally, in my opinion, that's not my business. But we're not going to address that right now. But we are aware that there is a situation, okay? So moving along, because I know y'all wondering, we're not going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about is the children, because that's what's important.
That's right.
That's why she's here. And that's why a lot of concerned parents are here, because they want to see their children excel. Now, an issue I have with the school is the truancy. I spoke with one of the district attorneys about implementing, there's this thing where if your child does not go to school, the parents are charged with truancy or whatever. But this is not processed. In other words, if you've got a 16-year-old that you're taking to the front door of Hamilton High School, quote, unquote, and they go in the front door and walk out the back, then that's a child making a stupid decision, but that's a child making that decision on his own. But if you've got a younger child that is not coming to school, because it's the parent's responsibility to get that child fed, to get that child dressed, and to get that child to school, and that child's not coming. Mm-hmm. So that's a homebound issue, and that's something that the school system is addressing.
We are.
But it goes into the prosecutor or the DA's hands for them to prosecute. And as of yet, I don't think that much has been done, but it should be, because that is an issue. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with you, because a child can't learn at home. They need to be in an environment where they can learn. But on the flip side of it is, we have to find out what the underlying issue is.
Right.
My child can't go to school because they don't have clean uniforms. We need to implement more in some of our schools where we can help parents.
And Memphis City School can provide uniforms.
We can. All they have to do is reach out to their counselors at their school.
And we feed them.
We feed them breakfast. We feed them lunch. And we give them an afternoon snack. We work hard to eliminate as many barriers as we can. But because you keep your child at home 2 or 3 days because their hair is not braided.
Because you couldn't get up in the morning to get your babies ready.
Oh, yeah, because you couldn't get up and do your part as a parent. And then you get upset with us because we're enforcing the law. And just this past school year, Ms. Barksdale, we had over 9,000 children that was unaccounted for. So now we're getting less funding, but we're having to do more. But we're getting less funding from the state because our state dollars come from the number of children that are in school. But now, as we're having them come back, and that's why we always stress how crucial the first 20 days of school are. That's when the state, Nashville, decides how much money they're going to send to us. So we ask parents, help us help you. If your child, there are places set up to do hair before school starts. Uniforms. If you need uniform vouchers and, you have a legitimate reason. Now, we're not just giving them out because you want to do something else. But we know in May, school lets out. We know in August, school is going to start back. So if you have to buy a uniform shirt or a pay period, a pair of pants the next pay period, do it. So we can have our children in school. They're not failing because they're not getting knowledge.
They're failing because of other situations. What are our teachers? I know you just went through the TCAP situation.
Yes.
Give me some information on that.
Our TCAP numbers are better. Are they where we wanted them to be? No, they're not. Are they where they should be? No, they're not. But are we hopeful that they're going to continue to rise? Yes, we are. And since the pandemic, this was our first true year of taking the TCAP. Our numbers improved. We made advances in every subject for this school year. And that's because we have educators that are committed. We have teachers that are here for what's better for our children. The administration looks out for our children.
In your last tenure as a school board member, what are you most proud of? What accomplishments have you been a part of that you are most proud of?
The most proud, the one-to-one digital device for every child. When I say every child, no matter where you live, no matter your social economical background, whatever, we provided a computer, a laptop, something for every child while we were out of school during the pandemic.
What schools do you have? Can you name them offhand?
I can start. I have Dunbar, I have Melrose High School, I have Bethel Grove, I have Cherokee, I have Sherwood Elementary, Sherwood Middle, I had Middle College, I don't have them anymore. I have Colonial, I have Overton, I have Wooddale High School, I now have Sheffield Elementary, Sheffield Middle and High School, Wooddale High School, Ridgeway High School. I'm leaving out somebody.
She knows her stuff. She knows
Ridgeway Early Learning Center, Bell Forest. I don't want to leave out anybody. I go to my school.
And that's what I was going to say. I must say, and I know this for a fact, anything any of these schools have, she's there.
Yes.
Because we will talk constantly. She's, girl, I'm on my way here, I'm on my way there, I'm on my way here. She goes, she shows up. She's important to those kids and to that school. That's why we need the parents to be responsible and vote to put her back in office. Now, I want you to tell me one story since you've been a school board member. that has touched your heart. And I must add this. She's been through traumatic changes in her personal life. She lost her son. But she carried on. She carried on. And I see her live through her grandchildren. And I see the love that she has for her grandchildren. She shares that same compassion with your child. So that's why we're going to put her back in office. Tell me one story.
I have several of them. One of them is during the pandemic, when the pandemic first hit, we set up to give homework packages to our children. And I started receiving phone calls. I want my child to have a package, but I can't get to you where you're located. I can't get to you all. So I loaded up my truck and I took packages and I delivered them to parents, to families. And to see kids out and they say, I've completed them before, we had to shut the city down. That meant a lot to me. During the pandemic, we found out that the children couldn't log on because their power had been cut off in their homes because they couldn't afford the utility bill. So I got with, at the time, our board chair, Ms. Clay Bibbs, and I asked her, could we implement and work with MLG and W to help pay utility bills?
Y'all hear that?
She said yes. So I got busy. I started calling. I started recruiting people. Can I get $20? Can I get $50? Can I get $100? And I was telling them why. And we were able to help way over 1,500 people pay on their utility bill so that during that time, their child did not have to miss out on learning it, because that was important. It's simple things like that. I don't care about taking pictures. I don't care about who knows my name. That's not important. I want to do the work.
See, that's a true soul. That's a true soul because, and I say this on each of my interviews, you have so many political figures or people that are in that life that want to take pictures, they want to show up for stuff they haven't done. Yep, I said it again. Show up for things they haven't done to bring attention to themselves like they were a part of this. This lady's doing the work. This lady is compassionate. This lady, she's doing the work, y'all. The best candidate for the job. And I do want to say that I have one other question about bringing back some of the, it's my understanding that there is going to be some of the courses that teaches children trades again. Yeah. Explain that to me.
We are robustly ramping up our CCTE program, College and Career Technical Education. And, people are saying, why you don't have home ec and these things. This is not what our young people want now. They want cosmetology,
auto mechanics.
Well, those are classes that now the technology is so different now that it's hard to do auto mechanics because of what all it takes, to do it. They want computers classes. I'm blessed that I have a brother that works in the district. He's teaching where you can get your EMT certification, the phlebotomy. Those are the classes. We don't just go out and say, we're going to give these classes to you. We ask the young people, what do you want to do? Where is your goals? Where's your mind? When you graduate from high school, what do you see yourself doing? And some of the classes, so now you can graduate from high school with your phlebotomy. So you can go right on into drawing blood. You can graduate now with your EMT certification, and you can start helping prepare to ride on the ambulance. Those are the type of things that we're doing. You can graduate now with your certification in welding. We have over 6,000 certifications that young people can get in high school. When we went to school, you may have had one honors class.
I had home ec and I had photography. And home ec, I learned how to bake a cake. Miss Lewis at Melrose. And They had shop, Mr. West.
Yeah.
They had photographer, Mr. Kupo. But you learned something other than schoolwork.
Right.
And that gave you a sense to go out into the world and be prepared. I knew how to go out and bake a cake. I still can't do it good. I still can't do it good. But anyway, so I think that, in my opinion, this is what we need for our children.
Yeah.
This is what needs to be implemented. We need more people working with our children that are on the level of parenting as well as implementing for future situations and preparing the child. My choice is Joyce. I want y'all to return her to the school board. I know she's the best candidate. We have a lot of support. If you want to volunteer, we appreciate it. If you want to donate it, we appreciate it.
Yes.
But most of all, and most importantly, I want you to vote for this lady, Joyce Dorse Coleman, Shelby County School Board, District 9. I support her and I endorse her. Joyce, look at the camera and tell the people something.
Newberry Elementary is one of my schools. I forgot it, and I don't want to leave off anybody. I am excited about where I see our future going. Our children, for some reason they say they're the lost generation, but our children are not lost. Our children want guidance. They want somebody to show them that they care and that they love them. I love going into the school, spending time with the young people. Yeah, I'm there for business, but my business is children. I want to make sure that the same quality of education that I expect for my grandbabies, I expect for your babies, your grandbabies, your nieces, your nephews. I want to make sure that at the end of the day, that our children can go anywhere at any time in this world and compete for the big Fortune 500 jobs. I want to make sure that our educators know beyond a shadow of a doubt how important their job is. I want everybody, the financial secretary, the building engineers, the custodial workers, the GOS, the cafeteria workers, everybody to know that we have to work together. But mostly important, I want our parents to know that we have your baby's interest in heart, that we're striving every day, every single day, to make sure that we give them the top quality education. And I want you to know that I love each and every child. It's been a rough year, but I am still standing, and I am not going to take a back seat to making sure that our children have what they need. My name is Joyce Dorse Coleman, and I would truly appreciate your vote for Memphis Shelby County School District 9. Thank you.
With that being said, Joyce is the choice. Thank you for coming to the veranda.
Thank you for having me on the veranda.